Hi guys, welcome to CARGEMS presented by eBay Motors. In the previous episode, we upgraded the engine of our Honda Integra Type R by replacing some of the original parts by upgraded one. The headers, the intake, and we also changed a few cosmetic stuff so that way our engine bay looks completely different. But today what we're going to do is actually improve the driving feel of the car by replacing some of the suspension component. We are going to change all the control arms underneath the car, the bushings and stuff like that. And we are going as well to replace the calipers on it. So that way we are going to have a much better braking feel. You may notice that we already swapped the wheels on the car. It's just for our driving impression because now we've got some sticky Toyo tires, R888s. By the way, everything that we install in the car is going to be listed in the description of this video down below. So if you want to find these parts on eBay, it will be possible. And by the way, all the original parts that we remove from the car is going to be on my eBay listings. So without further ado, let's bring the car inside the shop and let's do some change.
So after putting the car on the lift, it was now time to bring all our race parts and to unbox them. We got all the camber arms, toe arms, and lower control arms for the rear, which will give us a lot of adjustment when it comes time to align the car. In the front, we've got the upper control arm, adjustable as well, perfect if you are running a lower ride height. So we decided to start our work on the car with the lower control arm in the rear. It's super easy to replace. Technically, you just need to remove the bolt from the knuckle, then the chuck, and then the chassis. And you just replace the part with the other one from our race, reinstall it, and you're done. Once the lower control arm were installed, it was just a matter of replacing the toe arm and camber arm. Both parts will help us when it's going to be time to align the car. In the front, we already replaced the front caliper. It's simply a matter of removing the old one and replacing it with the NSX caliper.
So right off the bat, the car feels amazing. we did change all the bushings, all the suspension component on the car, and we also changed the brakes. Of course, today we are not track testing the car. We are just having a feel for it. After replacing all the suspension parts, we had to do an alignment on the car just to make sure we don't go through our tires. I'm running Toyo tires like you saw in a previous episode. I really love how they handle. I really love the wear of the tires as well. Despite what you usually have with like a 200 tread wear tire or 100 tread wear tire like the R888s, tire wear is not really an issue in my case, especially since this car is pretty light on its feet. So right now we are in the back roads. We are testing out our new setup. Early in this project, we replaced there was a suspension like coilovers on the car. The car was pretty low. It was a pretty harsh, no brand suspension that was installed on it. Despite the fact that the car handled like quite okay, we really wanted to have quality parts installed on the car. We decided to replace the suspension, and I went with the Mugen suspension at first. Once the Mugen suspension was installed, I realized that the car was just a tiny bit too high for me, and the Mugen suspension is not height adjustable. So that's part of the reason why I decided to change it completely. We decided to replace the Mugen suspension with Holland's coilovers, DFVs. They are getting quite rare right now for the DC2 platforms. I don't think you can get these coilovers brand new anymore. In this case, we went with a suspension that we found on eBay. The coilovers were already rebuilt, so we knew that we were getting a completely refurbished suspension, which was a good thing. And you know, there's the Holland's quality as well. So that's part of the reason why I decided to go with these. As for the rest of the suspension component on the car, since we run a little bit lower than the original height of an Integra Type R, we installed Hard Race parts. This is probably the best aftermarket brand that I found for it, and they do amazing camber adjustable control arms for the front. In the back, we did the same thing. So tow arms, camber arms, they're all adjustable Hard Race parts. And also we decided to change the control arms, the lower control arms, and we use Hard Race parts. These parts, you can find them on eBay, and they come with hardened bushing. So that way you get a much more, like a better feel when you're driving the car, a better response. Right now we are doing corners, and the car handles just amazing. It's truly a fun place to be. And honestly, I cannot wait to try this car on the track. Right now we are still on the road, so we are not pushing the car to the limits, but we can truly appreciate these parts working together to make the best handling possible. Also, this is the first time that we are actually trying the car. All these parts that we install in the engine bay, so headers, the intake, all these small tiny bits and pieces, they are making the car so much more enjoyable. It's night and day. The car feels completely different now. It's a different thing. Although, even though if you're looking around, you still see this 25-year-old plus interior, but the car, it drives like a brand new car. It drives literally like if it was a Type R from the showroom floor. Tight corner here. So much fun. By the way, guys, all these parts that we install on this car, if you want to buy the same thing for your car, make sure to check out the link in the description down below. And that way you'll be able to get the same setup as what I installed. It's fun. It's so much fun. We need to keep our speed within the speed limit, but it's hard to resist. There's something about B series that, you know, it's so perfect. These golden era Honda, man, I wish, you know, I wish Honda had kept all these beautiful naturally aspirated engines. So much fun. This car, guys, is the living proof that you can actually find a cool car in Japan at the Japanese auction and bring this car back to its original look, its original form. And this is the proof that you can have a collector car that can still be a fun car to drive on the road, and not just something that you can only drive to your local Cars and Coffee. You can actually take this car to the track on Saturdays and then go to your Cars and Coffees on Sundays. So guys, this was a more, you know, one-to-one episode of Car Gems. We did some quite nice improvement to the car. The fact that I can actually drive it now for the first time with all these improvement makes it so much great. It's so cool, but we're still not done yet. There's still plenty of stuff left to do on this project, and I cannot wait, honestly, to unveil this car to the public. It's going to be awesome. Guys, if you want to support the series, you want to support Car Gem, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's very important. That way we can make more episodes like this. And with that said, guys, I see you in the next one. Goodbye.